Hey everyone, for my accountability vlog thing, for my reading challenge, I read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, a fable about fulfilling your dreams and reaching your destiny. Written by Robin Sharma, first published in 1996. It's a combination fiction, self-help guide, I guess. Really popular. It is an international bestseller, among other things. I've got a few bits to read in here. It incorporates lots of interesting things like the 80-20 rule. There's lots of references to Napoleon Hill, Stoicism, a sort of mix of Japanese and other Eastern, predominantly Indian cultural sort of thinking and mindset. And I'll just go ahead and read a couple of bits out of here. This is the fable, so this is pretty much what the whole book is about. You are sitting in the middle of a magnificent, lush, green garden. This garden is filled with the most spectacular flowers you have ever seen. The environment is supremely tranquil and silent. Savor the sensual delights of this garden and feel as if you have all the time in the world to enjoy this natural oasis. As you look around, you see in the center of this magical garden stands a towering red lighthouse, 6 stories high. Suddenly, the silence of the garden is disturbed by a loud creaking as the door at the base of the lighthouse opens. Out stumbles a 9-foot-tall, 900-pound Japanese sumo wrestler who casually wanders into the garden. As this sumo wrestler starts to move around the garden, he finds a shiny gold stopwatch, which someone had left behind many years earlier. He slips it on and falls to the ground with an enormous thud. The sumo wrestler is rendered unconscious and lies there, silent and still. Just when you think he has taken his last breath, the wrestler awakens, perhaps stirred by the fragrance of some fresh yellow roses blooming nearby. Energized, the wrestler jumps swiftly to his feet and intuitively looks to his left. He is startled at what he sees. Through the bushes at the very edge of the garden, he observes a long winding path covered by millions of sparkling diamonds. Something seems to instruct the wrestler to take the path, and to his credit he does. This path leads him down the road of everlasting joy and eternal bliss. So this is the sort of fable of the book. I've actually broken it down at the end of the book, so I've got the notes here. So the magnificent garden is representative of one of his 7 virtues. It's the mastering your mind. The lighthouse is the virtue of following your purpose. The sumo wrestler is practicing Kaizen. The pink wire cable, which the sumo wrestler is wearing, is live with discipline. The gold stopwatch is respect your time. The fragrant roses are selflessly serve others. And the path of diamonds is embrace the present. There's lots of references to Viktor Frankl in here as well, which I thought was interesting. It is interesting to read like back to back a bunch of self-help books within a couple of months of each other and see the crossovers with Napoleon Hill and some of that, like the 80-20 rule and Viktor Frankl, and some of the strategies and approaches people take to organizing their lives. The last one, something I actually took a little bit of exception to, and I'll read it and explain what I mean. Just last week I read in the paper about a group of people living on the tiny island of Okinawa in the East China Sea. Researchers are flocking to the island because they are fascinated by the fact that it holds the largest concentration of centenarians in the world. What have they learned? That a vegetarian diet is one of their main longevity secrets. Okay, so unfortunately Okinawa doesn't have the highest lifespan in Japan anymore in terms of prefecture. It's actually Nagano now. As of 2015, it was Nagano, not Okinawa. And I think part of the problem of that is it's become increasingly westernized due to the large American population, due to the military bases being on Okinawa. I spent 8 years living in Okinawa, and I didn't live on the main westernized island. I lived on a small, they call it Ritojima, so a little like outer island. And basically, the centenarians, the ones that were living a long time, they weren't vegetarians. Like, I think that that's sort of pushing his I don't want to like put words in his mouth, but it does seem to be pushing vegetarianism a little bit. The centenarians that I met in Okinawa, they were omnivorous. I actually think that the reason why they lived longer is they had a very strong ikigai, and that actually does, to Sharma's credit, that does actually come up in the book, the idea of purpose in life. And I think that he just kind of like broadly strokes vegetarianism in there, and I don't think that that's true from my experience of living in Okinawa for 8 years. So I don't think that's true. Man, if you want a self-help book or motivational tool, this book is a really good entry-level motivational book. I think that it's really good. It covers lots of ground. There's lots of interesting stuff in there. It's so good that someone who borrowed the book before me actually ripped pages out of the book to take home. I can't find it now. But the person who read this before me had actually highlighted sections of the book and ripped out pages to take home and keep for themselves. Fortunately, I did find free copies online, so there are free copies online. I'm not recommending you steal this book, but there are free copies available. Pretty cool. Check it out. I enjoyed it.